Good morning, everyone, and welcome to your Miracle Mindset Monday, your spiritual prescription for the week. So remember, with our Miracle Mindset Monday, this is an overall general reading for the week. There are no personalized readings. If you are interested in your own personalized Miracle Mindset Monday, then you are free to go and visit my website, which is pinned at the top of the page. Good morning, everyone. Once again, thank you for joining. Thank you for being here. And so this week, we are going to be using 3 decks. Good morning, Nicole Sammy. Thanks for joining. So our first deck that we are going to be using is going to be the Mystical Wisdom deck. Good morning, Shirley. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. We're also using the beautiful Oracle of the Angels. And then we will be using the Frequency Tarot as well. So these are going to be the 3 decks that we're going to be using to give us a generalized reading for the week. Now, before we get into the generalized reading for the week, I kind of want to give you all an overall message for the week, because as I meditated this morning, this is something that came through. Good morning, Marianne. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. Good morning, Helene. Thanks for joining. Thanks for being here. And so the overall message for this week is don't take yourself too seriously. Remember to laugh. And what that really means is oftentimes we take ourselves very seriously. Now, what do I mean by ourselves? What I mean by that is we take our personalities very, very seriously. And we have to really learn that we can laugh at ourselves. We can laugh at the personality. We can laugh at the silly ideas that we have and that we have gone through. We can do that. But there has to be a point where you actually begin to look at those beliefs and you look at those thoughts, and it actually comes from St. Paul. And St. Paul said, take every thought captive. Before you just accept a thought as the truth, take that thought captive, okay? And really look at it. Look at it before you just believe it. And I can guarantee you, if you take it and you take that thought captive and you look at it, you will laugh at the silliness of that thought, that you could be anything less than whole. Maybe you have thoughts about, how ugly you think you are. Once you captivate that thought, once you really look at it, you can begin to laugh at it. And, there's a woman who does like laughing yoga, and she always pops into my head when I'm thinking about this idea, just because her laugh is very infectious, or at least it is to me. And so when I start thinking, thoughts about maybe how I don't love myself, or maybe how I don't think I'm good enough, or, handsome enough, or charismatic enough, or I don't know enough, or I don't have enough money, or any of these ideas, I take those thoughts captive. I look at them, and I really look at them, and then I begin to laugh at them. The silliness, the insanity that I could be anything less than whole, pure, perfect, protected, provided for in all ways. So that's just an overall message for that week. Take every thought captive. Don't take yourself too seriously. And remember to laugh often. So let's go ahead and let's go to the Frequency Tarot and let's see what beautiful messages we have for this week, for the overall energies. All right, so let's see what we are working with. Beautiful. Okay, so we just need one more card to go along with that. Oh, just one more, please. Oh, wow. Awesome. Okay. So our first card is perceive. And I really love this card because it goes so well with our overall message. So when this card appears, it's really asking us to look at our perceptions, to look at things in a completely different way. And we have to really ask for that perception because a good majority of the time we don't know what that's going to look like or how to see something differently because we're very much stuck in our own ideas of things. So this card is really asking us to ask Spirit, how can I see this differently? How can I begin to view this situation from, a higher perspective, a higher point of view? Another great question to ask yourself is, how would Source see this? When this card comes up, that's a great way to ask. So how would Source see this? Or how would my angels see this? How would my guides see this? Which then leads us to this beautiful card, which is the Ascension card. So first we have number 44 with Perceive, and then we have this Ascension card. Now, there's a lot of conceptions about Ascension and what it means and how you do it and so forth and so on. What I really believe Ascension is, at its core, is really about seeing things differently. It's about seeing things from that higher perspective, to ascend, to go higher, to rise above, to see beyond, to look at something in a much different way. So as we perceive, we ascend, we see things from that higher perspective. We are not bound any longer to the old views, the old way of seeing things. And oftentimes we forget to do that. We forget to see things differently. We forget how to do that because we get so caught up in the murk and the mire and get caught up so much in the problem that we forget to look for solutions because the problem seems to be everywhere all at once. So Ascension is our second card. As we move into that Ascension, we get this sense of security because we know that Spirit is always there to assist us, always there to help us, always there to guide us, and not only to guide us, but to comfort us. To comfort us. So absolutely beautiful frequencies this week. So we know our first frequency is perception, or to perceive, to see things from a higher perspective, from a different perspective. Then we have Ascension, which is if we're really willing to see things differently, we will be able to rise above. We will be able to see things differently. As we begin to have those perceptions, as we begin to look at things differently, this beautiful sense of security begins to come over us because we know that Spirit is always there to help us, and not only help us, but to also comfort us in those times of need. And remember, one of the best ways that we can begin to do this kind of work is to laugh at ourselves, is to begin that process of looking at things differently and asking to see a different perception. So next, let's go to the Mystical Wisdom deck. And so just the first card that just happens to be at the bottom of the deck is this one, Celebration, Let Go and Flow. I mean, how absolutely beautiful. And this beautiful message to tell us to celebrate life, to celebrate all that we have. So that's just an overall. I just really thought that card was beautiful. So now let's go ahead and let's see what other beautiful messages we have from this deck. And this is the Mystical Wisdom deck. Oh, beautiful. Okay. One more. Whoop. Okay. Ooh, I've never seen that card before. Okay. So our first card is this beautiful card, which is the unicorn. Serendipity. Okay? Serendipity. And so you see this woman just riding on the back of a unicorn, just totally chill, just basically falling asleep. Because what is she doing? She's allowing spirit to really take her on the adventure. She's not dictating what it has to be or how it has to be. She's just letting it flow. She's not saying, Spirit, you better take me here and take me there. She's like, Spirit, take me where you will. What would you have me do? Where would you have me go? What would you have me say? And to whom? As she does that, we have the dragonfly coming forward and saying, that takes a lot of courage. And not only does it take courage, it's a way of transformation because you have stopped trying to make things happen. You've stopped trying to do it all on your own. And you really have begun to ask Spirit, for its assistance and for that help. Now, the other thing that's really beautiful is we actually have two cards. One I've never ever pulled before, and the other one just really beautiful. And so they actually go perfectly together because the first one is friendship and the second one is legends. Okay? And so the reason that these two cards go together because it's asking you to, number one, really begin to treat spirit more as a friend. I think, and actually I don't think, I know for me, when I was starting, I always saw spirit as like this force outside of me, like this really powerful force. And it was great. It was benevolent. It was very loving and kind. But, it was something you only asked for help with very, very few times. You better figure it out yourself. It'll help you, but, you got to figure it out. And once I started treating spirit like it was more of a friend, more of, a companion, then there was that beautiful, a beautiful relationship started to form. And now when I speak to spirit, it's not like I'm talking to, a force outside of myself. Good morning, Karen. Good morning, Lisa. It's not like I'm talking to a force outside of myself. It's not like I'm talking to, this great and powerful force that will smite me down. I'm talking to a friend that understands me better than I understand myself at times. And not only is that, the first meaning behind the friendship card, the second meaning behind the friendship card is really to nurture your relationship with your friends. Like, nurture those relationships because those people, which then brings us over here to legends, can inspire us. So it says, legends, learn from those who inspire you. So, really, there was I believe it's a quote, you are who you have coffee with. And I don't know, and I remember a friend of mine told me that at work when we were working together. Whoever you kind of conversate with in the morning, that's the kind of energy you're going to embody really for the rest of the day. So if you find yourself complaining with someone else, then, you may find yourself finding a lot of things to complain about. But if you, have coffee with someone who is kind, compassionate, loving, positive, excited about life, celebrating, everything, and living in that reverence, then you're going to have that kind of day. So really learning from those who inspire you. And it may be a friend. It may be someone you watch on Facebook or on YouTube. But learn from them. Don't try to be them, but learn from them. So beautiful, beautiful messages from the Wisdom of the Hidden Realms, the Mystical Wisdom deck. And now we're going to go to our last deck, which is the Oracle of the Angels. And this is going to kind of give us some affirmations that we can work with. Beautiful. Okay, one more. Okay, whoops, there it goes. All right. So let's see here what beautiful cards we have. Wow. Okay, this is just a really beautiful, beautiful week of cards here. So our first card is moving towards the light. Okay, moving towards the light. And when it comes to this card, it's telling us that we need to continue to move towards that light. And there's going to be what seems to be like obstacles and stuff, of course. But we just keep on moving one step at a time, because really what we're moving towards is the liberation from our old thoughts and beliefs. And we will be successful. That will happen. You will have that liberation, that freedom from your own limiting beliefs if you're willing to continue to move towards the light, towards the truth of who you are. So let's read the affirmations for each one of these cards. So number 32. I find a hidden blessing in each of my opportunities for growth. I am forever transforming, evolving, and progressing along my path. Good morning, Norma. Good morning, Senzi. Sorry if I said your name wrong. I apologize. So then let's go to number 34, which is liberation. I free myself. Now I'm going to change this around a little bit, because this is what I really feel like the message is saying. I free myself from my own self-limiting beliefs. I liberate myself and improve the flow of energy in my life by clearing out the emotional clutter. Now, you could also take it from this point of view. This is what the affirmation actually says. I free myself from a dependency on material objects in my life. I liberate myself and improve the flow of energy in my life by clearing out my clutter. I just said we're clearing out our beliefs, we're clearing out, those emotions that no longer serve us. I mean, we are headed here just today. This is the second new moon in Cancer. And so this is such a wonderful opportunity to begin to free yourself. Morning, Helene. So number 33 is success. I have in me all that it takes to achieve a fulfilled and happy life. All my power lies in the way I think. I consciously attract joy, love, abundance, happiness into my life. I deserve to succeed. And do you know why you attract joy, love, abundance, and happiness into your life? And you do that because your thoughts, if we look at it in the way of energy, because our thoughts are energy. It's just thought energy. They have an electromagnetic pull. And so you can say your thoughts about lack are polarized to bring you a situation which will prove them right. Okay, so if you're thinking lacking thoughts, you're going to be brought a situation, because your thoughts are electromagnetic and they are pulling forth from the infinite field of possibility a situation to prove that your thoughts about lack are right. Now, if on the other hand, you have thoughts that are polarized with thoughts of abundance, then you will pull forth situations from the infinite pool of possibility that are abundant. It all depends on those thoughts. Your thoughts are electromagnetically charged, and so they are pulling from the field of infinite possibility into our reality situations that will prove them right. So either we're going to prove that lack is real and right, or we're going to prove that abundance is real and right. But it all depends upon your thinking. So let's do a quick little review of our cards for this week. So first, from the Frequency Tarot, we had number 44, perceive, being willing to see things differently, being willing to have a different perception. As we have that different perception, we begin to ascend, because what we're doing is we're asking, how would source see this? How would my angels see this? And it's giving us a wider view, a larger picture to look at. As we do that, we get this beautiful sense of security, because we know that Spirit is helping us and looking after us. And it also brings us that sense of comfort. As we have that sense of comfort, we really get an opportunity to celebrate that we just get to celebrate. We get to just be like, yes, I am moving forward in my life because I'm seeing things from a completely different perception. As I do that, I begin to just dip into serendipity. I begin to let Spirit just flow and take me where I need to be, not where I think I need to be. And that takes a lot of courage, and that begins to transform your life in a myriad of different ways. As that transformation takes place, we can begin to really rely on Spirit, rely on our friends, build up that relationship with Spirit. And, we can take advice from those who inspire us. As we take that advice, or as we see those who inspire us, we really can begin to continue to move towards the light in our whatever situation. As we move towards the light, we gain that beautiful liberation, and we will be successful within that. It's just a matter of really making that a priority. So what we have also was our overall message, which was, be willing to laugh at yourself. Be willing to laugh more. Be willing to not take yourself so seriously. So that is your Miracle Mindset Monday for this week. I thank you for joining me. I thank you for being here. For those of you that follow me on my ACIM support page, I will be there in just a moment. For those of you who are interested in your own personalized Miracle Mindset Monday, you can always go visit my website, awakeningmiracles.org, which is actually pinned at the top of the page. And I will talk to you all later. Have a beautiful, blessed week.